Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Monday the 19th of September 2022. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Let's jump into it. Story number 1, the world awaits the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II, which is due to start at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. The 1-hour ceremony will host dignitaries from US President Joe Biden to Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and 10 everyday Australians. Some of the notable absentees include the leaders of China and Turkey. Many of the details of the funeral, such as the music, were planned by the Queen herself. The service will conclude a 10-day national mourning period in the UK and will take place at Westminster Abbey in the heart of London and be attended by around 2,000 people. Story number 2, the S&P ASX 200 closed down 0.3% today to 6,720 points. Like in other equity markets, investors are waiting to see what the central banks of the US, UK and Japan do later in the week. There wasn't a lot going on today. The big banks were mixed, so too the big iron ore miners, while the energy companies were lower. Wesfarmers was an outperformer, up 1.4%, while software group WiseTech Global jumped 1.7% and Gold Digger Newcrest Mining rose 1.8%. Computershare was among the worst, down nearly 4%. Best on the day was lithium producer Lake Resources, which jumped 13%, having fallen more than 20% last week. Worst was another lithium company, Sayona Mining. Mind you, generally the lithium and gold companies did pretty well today. It's a big week for dividend payouts. BHP will give more than $12.5 billion back to shareholders on Thursday, thanks to its massive final dividend. Rio Tinto will pay out $1.4 billion on the same day, while Telstra will share nearly $1 billion amongst its shareholders. Story number 3. The federal government will spend $1.4 billion to extend Australia's COVID-19 response measures to the end of the year. This is money for measures that were due to expire at the end of this month. There's an extra $840 million for aged care support, $115 million for the supply of rapid antigen tests to service providers and care recipients in high-risk settings, $142 million in rebates for COVID testing, and $235 million for PPE, treatments, RATs and other supplies for aged care, primary care, disability care and First National Health Services. Story number 4, share registry company Link Group has rejected a new proposal from Canadian bidder Dye & Durham, which included deferring part of the payment. This is the takeover that just keeps on giving. The revised offer came after the UK's Financial Conduct Authority said it would only approve the $2.5 billion acquisition by Dye & Durham if a £306 million was set aside to meet potential penalties and payouts relating to the role of Link's UK unit, Link Fund Solutions, overseeing funds run by fallen financial wizard Neil Woodford. Toronto-listed Dye & Durham had agreed to pay $4.81 a share, but over the weekend said it would pay Link shareholders the equivalent of $3.81 per share in cash up front and would defer the remaining $1 for as long as 2 years to meet potential payouts relating to the Woodford funds. Link share price fell more than 2% today to its lowest in 3 months. And finally, story number 5. In Japan, one of the strongest typhoons in decades hit the south of the country, though its effect was felt across the nation. The typhoon brought torrential rainfall and the risk of landslides. More than 8 million people had been ordered to evacuate and seek shelter from the storm, which dumped more than half a metre of rain in some areas. Winds hit 175 kilometres an hour, causing heavy waves. That's it for the afternoon report for Monday, the 19th of September, 2022. Michael Thompson and I will be back tomorrow morning for the Tuesday edition of Fear and Greed. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.